Car brands that once ruled the roads are now fighting for survival. Legendary names that once symbolized innovation, performance, and reliability are on the brink of extinction. In today's video, we'll uncover the shocking truth behind 10 car brands that are barely hanging on. From plummeting sales to outdated designs, fierce competition, and financial turmoil, these brands are closer to disappearing than you might think. Stay tuned, because the last two brands on our list are in such deep trouble, they might not even survive the next 5 years. Let's dive in. Mini. Not so mini anymore. Once upon a time, the Mini was a revolutionary concept that captivated the hearts of urban dwellers around the world. It was everything that the city car segment needed: small, nimble, and undeniably charming. With its distinctive rounded headlights, compact size, and unmistakable British flair, the Mini was not just a car, it was a lifestyle statement. The brand became synonymous with fun, efficiency, and the ability to navigate crowded streets with ease. In the early years of the 21st century, owning a Mini meant you were practical yet stylish, bold but sensible. It was a car that effortlessly blended character with convenience, making it a cult favorite. However, as years went by, the Mini began to grow, literally and figuratively. What started as a compact, affordable icon gradually morphed into something much larger and more luxurious. As the Mini brand continued to evolve under the guidance of its parent company, Bayerische Motorenwerke Aktiengesellschaft, the cars became bulkier and less distinctive. The original charm that had made Mini so appealing seemed to dissipate with each redesign. The once quirky city car that could slip into the tightest of parking spots was now competing against larger, more practical sport utility vehicles. One of the biggest issues Mini has faced in recent years is its shifting identity. Initially positioned as the antithesis to large, cumbersome vehicles, the Mini began to lose its edge as it grew in size. Models like the Countryman and Clubman were designed to appeal to families and those looking for a bit more space. Yet as they grew larger, the vehicles lost much of what made them distinctly Mini. Moreover, the brand has struggled to balance affordability with its premium aspirations. While Minis have always been positioned slightly above typical compact cars in terms of pricing, recent models have pushed that boundary too far. The cost of entry has risen steadily, making the brand less accessible to its original demographic. At the same time, the increased size and luxury features have not entirely justified the premium pricing. Competitors offering larger, more reliable sport utility vehicles at a similar cost have only exacerbated the problem. Buyers who once loved the Mini for its affordable uniqueness are now looking elsewhere, opting for cars that deliver more value for the money. Mini's struggle to stay relevant is just the beginning. Our next brand is facing a much more dramatic decline. Alfa Romeo, Italian passion falling flat. Known for its curvaceous designs and the unmistakable roar of its engines, Alfa Romeo cars were never just about transportation. They were an emotional experience. Driving an Alfa meant indulging in a blend of style and speed, making every journey feel special. Models like the Giulia and the Stelvio encapsulated that spirit with their aggressive aesthetics and dynamic handling. However, as much as Alfa Romeo has been revered for its beauty and performance, it has also been plagued by a reputation for poor reliability. In recent years, this issue has become more than just a stereotype. It is a harsh reality. Numerous owners have reported issues ranging from malfunctioning electronics to persistent engine problems. Frequent recalls have only compounded the damage to Alfa's reputation. The once loyal fan base has started to lose faith, and even enthusiasts are now questioning whether the brand's allure is worth the constant headaches. One of the most significant blows to Alfa Romeo has been the issues with its high-performance models. The Giulia Quadrifoglio, which boasts a Ferrari-inspired engine and an exhilarating driving experience, has not been immune to mechanical failures. Despite its thrilling 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just under 4 seconds, owners frequently find themselves dealing with costly maintenance issues. Similarly, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, while visually striking and powerful, has faced criticism for inconsistent build quality and electrical failures. When enthusiasts invest in a performance car, they expect not only speed but also durability. something Alfa has struggled to deliver. The financial strain on Alfa Romeo has been evident as well. Parent company Stellantis has shown signs of pulling back support for the brand, which has only increased speculation about Alfa's future. In markets where reliability and resale value play a crucial role in purchasing decisions, Alfa Romeo's reputation has severely impacted its sales. Once admired as a niche luxury brand, Alfa is now perceived as a gamble, one that many buyers are not willing to take. Even die-hard fans are beginning to question their loyalty. Historically, Alfa Romeo has benefited from a passionate following that forgave its flaws in exchange for the sheer joy of driving. However, as resale values continue to plummet and maintenance costs soar, even the most devoted Alfisti are reconsidering their commitment. From Italian flair to forgotten favorites, the next brand once ruled the streets with its small car swagger. We're just getting started. There's so much more to uncover about these iconic brands and why they're on the edge of extinction. If you're into deep dives like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Mitsubishi, once popular, now invisible. There was a time when Mitsubishi was a household name on the streets of the United States of America. It was a brand synonymous with sporty, affordable, and spirited cars that appealed to young drivers and enthusiasts alike. Think back to the late 1990s and early 2000s, and you will remember iconic models like the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution and the Mitsubishi Eclipse. These cars were not just machines. They were statements. The Lancer Evolution, with its turbocharged power and all-wheel drive grip, became an icon among rally enthusiasts and street racers. The Eclipse, on the other hand, was the quintessential compact coupe that offered a blend of sportiness and everyday practicality. During that golden era, Mitsubishi was one of the most exciting automotive brands on the market. Their cars had character, attitude, and most importantly, affordability. Whether it was the Lancer Evolution roaring down the freeway or the Eclipse catching eyes in high school parking lots, Mitsubishi had a presence that was hard to ignore. Their appeal lay in offering performance without the hefty price tag, making them accessible to a wide audience. However, fast forward to the present, and you would be hard-pressed to spot even a single Mitsubishi on your daily commute. The brand has almost vanished from the roads, a mere shadow of its former self. Mitsubishi's current lineup in the United States of America is a far cry from its past glory. Instead of sporty sedans and compact coupes, the brand now primarily offers a small selection of sport utility vehicles. The Mitsubishi Outlander, the smaller Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, and the aging Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross are the only remaining models. Unfortunately, none of these sport utility vehicles truly stand out in a highly competitive market dominated by robust offerings from Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai. One of the biggest factors contributing to Mitsubishi's decline is the complete lack of manufacturing plants within the United States of America. This absence significantly hampers their competitiveness, especially in a market where supply chain efficiency and production speed are crucial. During the global health crisis and subsequent semiconductor shortage, Mitsubishi's reliance on imported vehicles became a severe disadvantage. Dealerships found themselves with limited stock and frustrated customers unwilling to wait weeks or even months for deliveries. As Mitsubishi struggles to find its place, our next brand has failed even more drastically to keep up with shifting consumer preferences. Fiat, the Italian that never fit in. Fiat's story in the United States of America is a textbook case of a brand that never quite found its footing. When Fiat re-entered the American market in 2011, it did so with a splash. The Fiat 500, with its compact size, quirky design, and undeniable European charm, seemed poised to win over city dwellers and young buyers looking for something different. At first, it appeared that the gamble was paying off. The Fiat 500 was more than just a car. It was a statement of individuality. With its retro aesthetic, colorful customization options, and compact footprint, it appealed to those who valued style over sheer practicality. It was small enough to navigate tight urban spaces, but had enough flair to stand out in a sea of bland sedans. For a brief moment, it looked like Fiat had captured the essence of what made small cars desirable. However, beneath the surface, problems were brewing. Fiat's Achilles heel was, without a doubt, its reliability, or rather the lack thereof. Despite its charm, the Fiat 500 and its variants soon developed a reputation for frequent breakdowns, electrical malfunctions, and expensive repairs. Consumer Reports consistently rated Fiat among the least reliable brands in the market. This perception of poor quality was not just an annoyance. It was a deal-breaker for American consumers who typically prioritize durability, especially in an era where Toyota and Honda set the standard for long-lasting vehicles. Compounding the reliability issues was the fundamental mismatch between Fiat's lineup and the preferences of the American car-buying public. In Europe, compact cars like the Fiat 500 thrive in urban settings where narrow streets and tight parking are everyday challenges. To make matters worse, Fiat's parent company, Stellantis, has been steadily losing faith in the brand's ability to survive in the United States of America, with sales dropping by 11% globally and a meager 1,528 cars sold in the United States in the year 2024. It is clear that Fiat's strategy has failed to resonate. Fiat's struggle to fit the American market is one story, but the next brand was once synonymous with British luxury. Now it's barely surviving. Jaguar, a once prestigious name, losing its roar. For decades, owning a Jaguar meant commanding the road with style and sophistication. From the iconic Jaguar XJ sedans to the agile and fierce F-Type sports cars, the brand once represented the pinnacle of British automotive craftsmanship. However, in recent years, the brand that once dominated the luxury automotive market has found itself grappling with an uncertain future. The very essence of what made a Jaguar desirable is being questioned as the company pivots toward a new vision, one that not all buyers are willing to embrace. Jaguar's decision to shift from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric-only models has proven to be a risky move, one that may ultimately jeopardize its loyal customer base. The announcement to abandon internal combustion engines altogether by the year 2030 marked a significant shift for the brand. While the strategy aligns with the global push for sustainability, it has alienated a substantial portion of Jaguar's traditional buyers. Many longtime enthusiasts feel betrayed, as they cherished the signature growl of a Jaguar engine, a sound now slated for extinction. The decision to eliminate its signature gasoline-powered models came at a time when the brand was already struggling with declining sales. By the year 2024, Jaguar's global sales had plummeted to just 33,000 units, a staggering 82% decrease from the 180,000 units sold just 6 years prior. In the United States alone, Jaguar managed to sell a mere 13,210 cars, a number that pales in comparison to the sales figures of other luxury brands. To put it in perspective, Lexus sells more vehicles in a single month than Jaguar sells in an entire year. This decline is not just a result of the electric transition. It is also symptomatic of deeper issues within the company. One of the most critical challenges Jaguar faces is a severe lack of new models. With production lines reduced to a single model, the F-Pace sport utility vehicle, the brand is offering less variety than ever before. Once a bestseller, the F-Pace is now showing its age, struggling to keep up with modern rivals that boast advanced technology, hybrid powertrains, and superior reliability. Brands like BMW and Mercedes-Benz are pushing out electric sport utility vehicles faster than Jaguar can redesign a single dashboard. Even more worrying is the fact that Jaguar's future electric models will not be based on existing platforms. The brand plans to build everything from scratch, a strategy that will require massive investment, long development cycles, and a leap of faith that customers will still want electric Jaguars by the time they hit the market. As Jaguar's legacy fades, the next brand once stood for affordable luxury, but is now battling to stay alive. Chrysler, America's van pioneer, left behind. It was a staple of the legendary Big Three, alongside General Motors and Ford, during the golden era of Detroit's automotive dominance. In the early 2000s, Chrysler was a powerhouse, offering a diverse lineup that ranged from family-friendly minivans to powerful sedans. Models like the Chrysler 300, with its imposing presence and muscular stance, gave the brand a distinct edge in the luxury sedan market. At the same time, the Chrysler Town & Country reigned supreme as the go-to choice for families seeking reliable, spacious transportation. However, fast forward to today, and the brand has dwindled to a shadow of its former self, fighting for survival with just two models, the Pacifica minivan and the budget-friendly Voyager. Chrysler's decline can be traced back to a failure to adapt to changing consumer preferences. When families began trading in minivans for sport utility vehicles and crossovers, Chrysler stubbornly stuck to its traditional roots. While competitors like Honda and Toyota rapidly expanded their sport utility vehicle lineups, Chrysler doubled down on its minivan strategy. The result was a slow but steady decline as buyers moved on to more versatile and modern options. By the year 2024, Chrysler's minivan sales had plummeted by over 50% compared to the previous decade. The brand's refusal to evolve in an increasingly sport utility vehicle-driven market left it outpaced and out of touch. Compounding the problem is Chrysler's lack of innovation. The Airflow electric vehicle concept was intended to mark Chrysler's entry into the electric vehicle market, but the project was quietly scrapped. Without a clear electric strategy, the brand appears outdated, especially when rival companies are rolling out electric options in every segment. Stellantis, Chrysler's parent company, has made it clear that underperforming brands could face discontinuation, and Chrysler's stagnant lineup makes it a prime candidate for the chopping block. The brand's reliance on just 2 models is a glaring vulnerability. While the Pacifica remains a competent minivan, it is no longer the innovation leader it once was. Meanwhile, the Voyager is essentially a stripped-down version of the Pacifica, marketed as a budget alternative. From American family icons to exotic disappointments, our next brand's fall from grace is just as shocking. Maserati, luxury dreams, harsh realities. There was a time when owning a Maserati was synonymous with prestige, luxury, and performance. The brand's iconic trident emblem symbolized success, whether it was the Maserati Ghibli's growl on the open road or the Gran Turismo's sleek presence at a luxury event. Athletes, celebrities, and business magnates favored Maserati as a statement car, one that balanced breathtaking design with powerful performance. However, this once coveted dream has since turned into a troubling reality. Maserati is no longer the go-to brand for those seeking luxury and performance, becoming more associated with inconsistency, reliability issues, and a lack of clear identity. In 2024, Maserati reported a dramatic decline in sales. In the United States, the brand managed to sell only 4,819 vehicles, a number that is less than half of the previous year's sales. Globally, the situation was similarly bleak, with only 11,300 cars sold, a 57% drop from 2023. This downturn resulted in a loss of $285 million, casting doubt on Maserati's viability. One key factor in Maserati's decline is its notorious reliability issues. While the cars look spectacular on the outside, owners report persistent electrical glitches, transmission failures, and engine troubles. Maintenance costs are also exceptionally high, with routine services and repairs costing thousands. For a car priced over $100,000, these issues are unacceptable to buyers who expect reliable performance. As a result, purchasing a Maserati has become a gamble, damaging the brand's reputation among luxury car enthusiasts. Maserati's challenges are intensified by import tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump, including a 25% tariff on European luxury cars. With no manufacturing presence in the United States, every Maserati model incurs significant import costs, putting the brand at a disadvantage compared to rivals. In contrast, Ferrari and Lamborghini have maintained strong sales despite these challenges, underscoring Maserati's deeper struggles. In light of these issues, Maserati's CEO, Davide Grasso, was dismissed in 2024, signaling the brand's uncertain future. Without a solid strategy for electric vehicles and shrinking market share, Maserati risks becoming a fading memory of luxury dreams turned into harsh realities. Luxury brands are not the only ones facing an uncertain future. Our next entry reveals how even once popular cars can vanish almost overnight. Daewoo, the budget car that faded fast. For a brief moment in automotive history, Daewoo seemed like it could be the next big thing. The brand emerged from South Korea in the late 1990s, determined to challenge established giants like Honda and Toyota. Daewoo cars were affordable, compact, and marketed as reliable options for everyday drivers. Students, young professionals, and budget-conscious families flocked to Daewoo dealerships to get behind the wheel of cars like the Lanos, Leganza, and Nubira. The appeal was simple: new cars at used car prices. At its peak, Daewoo appeared in every parking lot across the country. However, this success story was short-lived. Beneath the surface, Daewoo vehicles had major quality issues. build quality was inconsistent at best, with owners reporting frequent breakdowns and an alarming lack of parts availability. When something went wrong, and it often did, finding a mechanic who knew how to repair a Daewoo was a challenge. Parts were scarce, and many repair shops simply refused to take them in. Customers quickly realized that their bargain buy was anything but. Daewoo's dealership network did not help matters. Unlike other established brands with well-organized service centers, Daewoo dealerships were often underfunded, independent, and unreliable. Customer service was inconsistent, and buyers felt abandoned when their vehicles inevitably needed repairs. The network simply could not support the influx of maintenance issues. As the problems piled up, buyers lost faith in the brand, and sales started to collapse. Then the final blow came. In the early 2000s, Daewoo's parent company in South Korea filed for bankruptcy. General Motors stepped in, purchasing what remained of the company and rebranding the cars under the Chevrolet name. Daewoo, as a standalone brand, quietly vanished from the automotive scene. No grand farewell or dramatic exit, just a gradual disappearance from showrooms and roadways alike. Fast forward to the year 2023, and only a handful of Daewoo cars remain on the road. In the United Kingdom alone, there were still over 55,000 Daewoos in 2013, but a decade later, that number dwindled to a mere 2,207, a shocking decline of 96%. Most of these remaining cars are in poor condition, with owners scrambling to find parts to keep them running. Even car collectors avoid Daewoos, as there is no nostalgic appeal, just memories of unreliable, forgotten cars. From faded budget options to iconic brands facing extinction, our next entry is a cautionary tale of missed innovation. Nissan, once a giant, now a shadow. At its peak, the brand brought practical yet forward-thinking vehicles to millions worldwide. In the early 2010s, Nissan led the electric vehicle revolution with the Nissan Leaf, the first mass-produced electric car. The Leaf promised a greener future at a time when most manufacturers were still relying on internal combustion engines. For a while, Nissan appeared poised to dominate the electric car market. However, Nissan's fortunes have drastically changed. Over the past few years, the brand has struggled with numerous challenges that have damaged its reputation and left it fighting for survival. Central to this decline is Nissan's failure to keep pace with evolving market demands. While competitors like Tesla and Hyundai launched innovative electric models, Nissan stagnated. The Leaf, once groundbreaking, remained virtually unchanged for years. As newer models with longer ranges and modern features entered the market, the Leaf became outdated and uninspiring. Beyond electric vehicles, Nissan's financial health has been jeopardized by its sprawling dealership network. In the United States, the brand operates far more dealerships than its market share justifies, leading to unsold cars piling up. To clear this excess inventory, dealerships resort to heavy discounts, boosting short-term sales but eroding profitability. This overexpansion has further weakened the brand's long-term stability. Nissan's financial troubles extend to Japan, where the company recently faced near bankruptcy, with profit losses reaching 99% compared to previous years. This alarming financial collapse shocked the industry, casting doubt on Nissan's future. Analysts attribute this downfall to poor leadership, highlighted by the arrest of a former chief executive officer on financial misconduct charges. The subsequent leadership turnover created instability, leaving the company without a clear strategy. Compounding these issues are quality concerns. Recent Nissan models have been criticized for outdated designs, poor performance, and frequent reliability problems, especially with continuously variable transmissions. Electrical issues and software glitches have also undermined the brand's reputation. Nissan's current lineup has failed to generate excitement. Models like the Altima and Rogue, once popular, now struggle against more dynamic competitors. Even attempts to spark interest with performance models like the Nissan Z have fallen flat, as critics lament the lack of modern integration with heritage appeal. To survive, Nissan must act decisively, revamping its electric lineup, rethinking dealership strategies, and restoring quality. If it fails, the once great brand may fade into irrelevance, just as other automotive giants have before. Rover, British luxury, fading away. Rover was once synonymous with British luxury, engineering excellence, and refined taste. Whether cruising through the English countryside or making a statement in the city, Rover cars symbolized class and heritage. In the late 20th century, the brand was known for producing elegant, reliable vehicles that appealed to buyers who valued sophistication and comfort. More than just cars, Rovers represented Britain's ability to manufacture luxury vehicles that could rival the best in the industry. However, Rover's story did not have a happy ending. The decline began as the company struggled to adapt to the rapidly changing automotive market. By the late 1990s, Rover's lineup appeared outdated in both design and technology. While competitors focused on innovation, safety, and fuel efficiency, Rover remained stagnant and consumer interest waned. Sales plummeted, and the once prestigious brand became known for dated aesthetics and mechanical issues. A major factor in Rover's downfall was inconsistent ownership and management. Throughout the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Rover changed hands multiple times, from British Leyland to BMW, and finally to the Phoenix Consortium. Each change brought promises of revitalization, but none provided the stability or investment needed to modernize the brand. As a result, Rover entered the new millennium financially weakened and struggling to compete. The final blow came in 2005 when Rover went bankrupt. The British government refused financial assistance, and without a solid business plan, the company collapsed. While some assets, including the Rover name, were acquired by other manufacturers, the brand itself was effectively dead. The closure of the iconic Longbridge plant marked the end of an era for British automotive history. The impact of Rover's fall extended beyond the automotive industry, leaving devoted fans disheartened. For many, Rover was more than just a car. It was a part of British motoring heritage. Today, only a few aging Rovers remain on the road, reminding enthusiasts of the brand's former glory. While gatherings of Rover loyalists still celebrate its legacy, the modern automotive market has moved on, favoring innovation over nostalgia. The world embraced new technologies, but Rover remained stuck in the past. Now, the name Rover evokes memories of a brand that faded away, unable to adapt to a changing world. The fate of these once mighty brands is still unfolding, and we're here to cover every twist and turn. If you want to stay updated on who survives and who doesn't, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.